Good afternoon, YouTube. How are you today? Things are going pretty good. I'm sitting in the shuttle van. I pulled shuttle driver duty today, this afternoon. Get people from the school back to the hotel and make the evening run to Walmart. But today was pretty good. Got up same time as always, 4:45 for the shower and then head in for breakfast. We got to eat breakfast first thing again for a change, which was good. But breakfast today was a ham, cheese, and egg breakfast burritos, and they were just as hideous as they were last week. Basically, all I was able to do was just cut mine open and eat the egg and stuff out of it. The tortillas were soggy. Also included fruit and juice, but at least this time they provided us hot sauce and stuff like that. Wasn't really a lot going on today. After breakfast, we headed up to the classroom and watched some videos and did some discussions on different types of securement. We did lumber yesterday, but we covered it again, and then did coils and linear steel, and which also covers things like palletized freight and things like that. For the most part, it's all the same type of tarping, at least the way you're supposed to do it. It really boils down to the size of whatever it is and how many tarps you're going to have. Some of them require 2 tarps, a canvas tarp underneath, and then a vinyl tarp on top. Those are generally all metal loads, and everything else just requires a single vinyl tarp. And of course, then we have 3 different kinds of tarps. We have the canvas tarp and the 4 and 8 foot vinyl tarps, and then we have lumber tarps, which are also vinyl, and those are even bigger than all the rest of them. Once that discussion was done, we did a couple of little evaluations and acknowledgments on the computers, and then headed down for hands-on, and that lasted from about 8 in the morning until roughly 11 o'clock or so. Then we broke for lunch. Lunch was a repeat of another one we had the other day, which was hamburgers with all the fixings as well as chips. The hamburgers were a bit better today. I guess maybe they had decided to put some salt and pepper in them, and they weren't as greasy either. But they were still cold when we got them. I had to stick mine in the microwave just to get it warm enough to eat. After lunch, we went back to the training bays and went through more tarping exercises. We just kept moving around and moving around. Me and my roommate Rick stuck together, and we moved from station to station. I've only done very little tarping in the past, but it seems pretty easy. The biggest problem is just the bulk size of the tarps, and of course, if you're doing it in inclement weather, it's just a slow, tedious process. And of course, Maverick wants their tarps to be very neat, very orderly, very pretty, and that's just going to take time and effort. I can tarp, I know how to do it. It's just all about making it Maverick style and making it acceptable to public viewing as it's known. We did take a break from tarping about 2 o'clock to attend a Million Mile award ceremony at the corporate offices. That lasted about 20 minutes or so. It was pretty neat. They talked about, the driver gave a little speech, of course, and then management talked about him and the things he's done over the last, I don't know however many years, 6 or 7 that it took him to get the 1,000,000 miles. And it's not, it was pretty cool. I mean, it's nice. They do it a little bit different here. I mean, I got a 1,000,000 mile certificate from my previous company, as well as a pin, and I got a certificate and a pin from every version of the as I stepped up from 100,000 miles. But they weren't as nice as anything else. I was supposed to get a ring and a 1,000,000, but I never got it. Here, they give you a year, like a $800 or $900 ring, like a class ring, when you get 5 years of service in. And then, but if you get 1,000,000 miles, you get an engraved plaque. There's 2 of them actually. One of them that hangs on the wall in the corporate offices, and another one you get to take home, and they actually engrave your picture on it. It's kind of neat looking. Wouldn't mind maybe having one myself someday if I stick around that long. I'm not sure how many years I am going to continue driving a truck. After that was done, we headed back into the training bays and did just a little bit of more tarping, and then they cut us loose at 3 o'clock. The regular drivers, everybody went up. Students and regular drivers went up to the classroom, and we had to do some tarping releases, saying that, basically, they showed us how to do it, and now we know how to do it. We're experts, which is not true. Most people say it takes 6 months or more to really learn how to tarp really, really well. Then the students went off to what's called Crossing the Bridge, which is a 2-hour class that transitions them from being a student to in a classroom to a student in a truck. And all those guys are finding out. I think they're finding out today who their trainers are going to be when they're and tomorrow they'll actually find out when they're going to meet their trainers. Whether the trainers are going to come here and get them, whether they're going to take a bus or a plane to meet their trainers, that kind of thing. To my knowledge, those guys won't be going home before they go to their training trucks, unless their trainer happens to be live in their same city, which is a possibility. There's a couple hundred trainers, and they live all over the country. Then for us, we did the same thing. We signed some releases, and then they cut us loose, with just a few pieces of information. Tomorrow, we're bridging, changing, whatever they want to call it, transferring from the student, the training group to operations. And in operations tomorrow is when we will find out, who our fleet manager is and when and where we're going to get our truck. But we still have to come in the morning. One of the things that's really going to drag is I'm driving the van today, which means I get to keep it overnight, which is a good thing. But tomorrow I have to check out of my hotel and be checked out of the hotel and have my belongings in the storage room at the Maverick Hotel before 6 a.m. And I have to be in class at 6 or breakfast, whichever comes first. So that's going to be kind of tough because I'm also going to be doing the shuttling in the morning, getting everybody from the Galloway over here. So pretty much everybody has to check out of it. So it's going to be, I'm thinking I'm probably going to have to make 4 or 5 trips because of all the luggage. Some people have a lot, like me. I've got 2 huge bags, and other guys, they may have just little duffels, and other guys have big bags. The only upshot is maybe tomorrow afternoon before I get my truck, if I get it tomorrow, that I can do some laundry. I did do some laundry at the Galloway night before last, but it didn't come very clean. The washers weren't that great. They were very slow, and I don't think they got all the soap out of my shirts, but that's okay. I bought some Maverick shirts yesterday to wear. So, or was it the day before yesterday? I don't remember. I think it was the day before yesterday. Not important. So, today was I guess you could call it a hard day, but an easy day. It was just one subject. There wasn't that much. It was all about tarping. I tarped each of the different items at least once, and one of them I tarped twice. And then, of course, I moved around and helped guys that needed help. And Rick did the same thing. I will say this much. At this point, as an experienced driver, this training is really, really dragging. And it might be just because I pick up things so easily, it becomes tedious after a bit. I'm not knocking Maverick. They have their way, and it works for the most part. For me, it works, but I probably could have bailed yesterday, to be honest. But hey, it's supposed to be 2 weeks of training before you get your truck and head out. And it'll be 12 days as of tomorrow. So that's pretty much it. Tomorrow's going to be a busy day, hopefully, doing some tarping in the morning, like I said, and then crossing over to operations, and I'll be done with training, and then we'll move on to the regular videos. So I'm going to cut it short. Not really much to say today. I thank you for watching. I'd like to thank my new subscribers, and hopefully you'll stick around as the orientation and training ends. But for those of you, please, if you haven't yet, please take a moment and subscribe and follow me, and let's see where this goes. Also, if you have any questions or comments, please post them below the video, and we'll get to them. There hasn't really been very many comments in the videos, and that's okay. Seems like most of the questions I'm getting are coming through email. Or if you're on TTR, then you can post over there. Either send me a conversation message or post in the forums, and I will more than happy to answer your questions there. So with that said, I hope you have a good day. It's a wet one here in Little Rock, and I will see you tomorrow. So keep the shiny side up. 73s.